Well, we actually just ranked as the number 11 city for net migration in the entire country. Millennials were the largest group coming in, and the boomers were the largest group to say sayonara to the Emerald City. I love all of the happy-go-lucky videos you see about our city, but I think it's also fair to share with you why it's really not for some people. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through the top 7 reasons that people have decided to leave Seattle and go somewhere else. And we're getting after it right now. Hey, my name is Austin. Chris, myself, and our team, we help people just like you move to the greater Seattle area every single day, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking at making your move here in the next 3 days or the next 3 months, shoot us a phone call, text, email. Even better, go ahead and just book a Zoom call with me so that we can help you make that smooth move out here to Seattle. If you want to know everything going on in the local Seattle market, tap the little subscribe button and ding the bell if you want to make sure you're alerted anytime we drop a video that might be informative and important to you. All right, let's kick it off. Number 1 has gotta be cost of living. Cost of living has become a major problem for a lot of people across the United States. And Seattle has one of the highest costs of living in the entire US. And this is driven largely by our soaring housing prices. See, the average home price here in Seattle is a little over $1 million. This is significantly higher than the national average. It's actually more than double to buy a home. And renters, don't think you're getting off this easy, okay? You're gonna face similar challenges. The average 1-bedroom apartment in Seattle is gonna be exceeding $2,000 per month. And if you wanna rent a single family home, probably somewhere between $3,300 and $6,000 a month, depending on the size and location, obviously. Now, it's not just housing. The utility costs in Seattle are also higher than the national average. A resident of Seattle can expect to pay around $200 a month for utilities in a standard home. Now, in all fairness, when I lived in the Midwest, in the summer, we could easily see a $400 electric bill, and that's just for electric alone. And sometimes we even broke $500 when it got really, really cold in the winter. Groceries and other daily necessities cost more as well. Seattleites pay approximately 27% more for the groceries that they consume compared to the national average. Now, I read these factors and I don't feel it quite as much, but I'll tell you, eating out, that is where I personally feel the pinch. A good dinner out is costing me around $150 anymore for a pretty standard meal, and going up if we go to someplace more fancy. The high cost of living can strain household budgets, especially for families. There is a financial pressure that often leads to lifestyle compromises, such as living in smaller living spaces, maybe driving further as far as your commutes to find more affordable housing in one of the suburbs. One trend I've been seeing more and more for those who are staying is multi-generational living to cut down on expenses. These economic challenges are a significant factor that have been driving residents to seek more affordable living conditions in other cities or even states. If cost of living is something you're really concerned about, places like Renton, Tacoma, and Olympia all offer lower home prices and cost of living options. All right, number 2, traffic and commute times. Well, if it isn't my old friend traffic. If you've watched really any video that I've ever made on Seattle, you know I hate the traffic. But hey, apparently so does everyone else. Seattle's traffic congestion ranks actually among the worst in the entire nation, with the average commuter spending about 57 hours a year stuck in traffic. The city's road infrastructure struggles to keep up with the ever increasing population, and our major highways like I-5 and I-90 frequently experience very severe congestion during any peak travel areas. For me, I notice this a lot when I'm traveling around Lake Washington on 405. You basically just don't move during any high traffic hours. It's awful. We do have public transportation options like buses, light rails, the largest ferry fleet in the country, but these systems really kind of fail to provide convenient or timely alternatives to driving. The Link Light Rail, it's expanding massively, and this is going to reduce some strain as it kind of finishes up, but it still doesn't cover many areas of the city comprehensively, and people like me who, kind of need a car to get around to work in different places as a real estate broker, doesn't solve the problem. For families, extended time spent commuting can detract from family time and personal well-being. Long commutes can lead to increased stress, reduced productivity, and less time for recreational activities. So, for example, in the morning when I go to the gym, it takes me 31 minutes each way. Yeah, that's at 4:30 in the morning. And then tack on my workout time. That right there is 2.5 hours out of my day just to finish up one activity. This daily grind of navigating Seattle's traffic is a compelling reason for many to seek a less congested and a more commuter-friendly environment. Although I will say, I really think this only applies if you're wanting to be out of the city. If you want to be in the middle of it all, you're gonna have traffic. That's just kind of a matter of fact. Now, if you don't want to live in the city, then Seattle probably isn't a good choice for you anyways. Areas that are much quieter, something like Maple Valley or Issaquah, might be a more relaxed option for you. All right, number 3, this is the one that everyone talks about all the time. We're going to talk about the weather and seasonal affective disorder. So our weather is characterized by typical overcast skies, frequent drizzle, and we get about 38 inches of rain yearly, and this is unfortunately spread over about 150 days. So the constant cloud cover and the limited sunlight, especially during our fall and winter months, contribute to seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. This condition affects about 10-20% of the population here in Seattle, has symptoms like depression, lethargy, and kind of just overall social withdrawal. The long gray winters can be particularly tough for those accustomed to a sunnier climate, like if you were coming from Florida, maybe Texas. Lack of sunlight can impact mood, energy levels, and unfortunately overall mental health. For families, this can really mean having to deal with increased emotional challenges and a need for indoor activities to keep your children entertained and engaged. Or hey, they could be like my kids and they can just play outside no matter what it's like. My kids don't really seem to mind the drizzle and the gray. They want to get out and play. So understanding the impact though of Seattle's weather on daily life is really crucial for potential residents. Those who thrive on outdoor activities and sunshine might find the persistent rain and gloom kind of challenging. This could be influencing on the decision to relocate to maybe a sunnier region. And look, rule of thumb, people are always going to want to move to where it's warmer and sunnier. The trade-off here is you get through the winter and you get the most magical, beautiful summer that you're ever going to experience. Not to mention, you're going to get daylight that's going to run till well after 9 o'clock at night. There is a hack though. One thing that a lot of people do here in Seattle is they elect to grab a home somewhere else. Often Arizona really seems to be the staple place. People like to head down there in the winter and then come back when it's nice. Not really a snowbird, like gray bird, gloom bird, something like that. But neither of these might make sense for you. After all, it is a top reason people are leaving the city. All right, number 4, let's talk homelessness and public safety concerns. Tough subject, but Seattle has been grappling with a significant homeless crisis for many years. As of 2024, over 40,000 individuals were experiencing homelessness in King County, which obviously includes Seattle. The craziest thing about this is that in 2020, that number was reported at 11,000. So the visible presence of homeless encampments, particularly in downtown areas and public parks, have raised a lot of concerns about public safety and cleanliness. The city's efforts to address homelessness include initiatives such as building more affordable housing and providing services for mental health and substance abuse programs. And I gotta be honest, I really do applaud them on these efforts. However, the complexity and scale of this problem mean that progress is really, really slow, and the issue does remain highly visible. Additionally, it seems like politically there's an inability to come to a meeting of minds about how to handle the unhoused and what they're experiencing and how to fix it. So for families considering moving to Seattle, concerns about safety and community environment are going to be critical. The perception of increased crime rates, property damage, and unsanitary conditions associated with homelessness can influence their decision. Families are often going to prioritize areas where they feel secure and where their children can play and learn without exposure to such challenges. Number 5, Seattle's education and school system challenges. Now, Seattle is home to some highly rated schools. There are, however, significant disparities within the education systems. Issues like overcrowded classrooms, very varying qualities of education between schools, and funding adequacies pose some challenges. For example, schools in wealthier neighborhoods often do receive more funding and resources, leading to better facilities and programs, while we're seeing in less affluent areas struggle with fewer resources. Parents tend to often worry about the impact of these disparities on their children's educations and their future opportunities. The quality of education can vary widely depending on the neighborhood itself, prompting many families to consider relocating to areas with more consistent and higher performing school systems overall. So understanding these educational challenges is crucial for anyone prioritizing their children's academic success. Comparing Seattle's school system to those in other potential locations around the area can help families make a better decision about where their children will receive the best education and opportunities for growth. Now, I'm not just leaving the dark here. I really do like niche.com when it comes to researching schools. You can really get a good look not only into the schools, but also read reviews from kids that have attended those schools, as well as parents whose children have attended their schools. Number 6, the tech industry crunching down on the job market. Seattle's booming of tech industry. It's anchored by companies we have like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Meta. It's brought some crazy economic growth and job opportunities. However, this growth has also had a dark side. It has led to a highly competitive job market and contributed to the city's high cost of living. The influx of tech workers from all over the world has driven up housing prices and increased demand for services. And this has further kind of strained our local economy. For those people who aren't employed in the tech sector, finding a well-paying job can be a little bit more challenging. There is a disparity in income levels between the tech workers and some of those in other industries, and this can create somewhat of an economic imbalance and some social tensions. Additionally, the high-pressure work environment in the tech industry can lead to a burnout and a desire for a more balanced lifestyle. So families considering moving here to Seattle are going to need to weigh those benefits of job opportunities in the tech sector against the potential downsides of the competition, the cost of living, and the work-life balance. For some, the allure of a more affordable and less competitive job market elsewhere, it may be more appealing, especially when you can head a little more south or a little bit more north and pretty easily obtain it. Number 7, and listen, don't bite my head off for this, but we're just gonna talk about the obvious. Political climate and governance, okay? Seattle's political climate is known for progressive policies and active civic engagement. I'm pretty sure you knew that one already. While I have found that this is a draw for many residents, it can also be a source of contention for a lot of others. Issues like tax policies, law enforcement practices, and city regulations can feel really polarizing and to be really polarizing. For example, Seattle's high business taxes and strict zoning laws have sparked debates about their impact on economic growth and housing affordability. Like, in short, it's almost like the local government doesn't want there to actually be any more housing. They make it damn near impossible to develop, and they have such strict environmental codes that, like, if you found something to develop, you might not be able to build anything because there's a tree. But hey, listen, that's a different story for a different day. The city's approach to governance, including its handling of homelessness and public safety, has also been a point of some pretty big criticism. Some of the residents feel that the city's policies are actually too lenient, while others kind of believe more progressive measures right now are needed. For families, alignment with local political climate is important for their sense of community and satisfaction with local governance. Disagreement with local policies and local government, that can lead to frustration and a desire to move to areas with a political environment that more closely aligns with your personal values. All right, well, there you have it. Those are the 7 major reasons that people are leaving Seattle. I think these are important to consider, when you're looking to make a move. The one thing I do know is if Seattle proper isn't the right fit for you, there are options and opportunities all around, and I'm sure one of them will fit your needs. Just simply reach out to Chris and I. We are committed to helping you find the right neighborhood in the greater Seattle area. And until next time, again, I'm Austin, and I cannot wait until you're out here so we can show you around.